Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Montessori. Today we are going to talk about the folding of napkins, which is a practical life exercise in the children's house. But before we start, as always, I remind you, if you're a true Montessorian, leave a like, subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Napkins. I have here 2 napkins which are folded in different ways. We also have other napkins, but for today, to show you what I want to show you, these 2 are sufficient. I have one napkin with lines running across like this and another with lines running from corner to corner. They are both exactly the same square. And the only difference, apart from the colors and so on, is that they are folded in 2 different ways. And so the child is shown how to fold these. This napkin is folded into a square. And this one is folded into a triangle. Apart from learning how to fold objects, because everything that we fold is folded into halves and quarters, but they have different shapes. We show a child how to do things with a square piece of cloth, and using this knowledge, he can apply himself to rectangles, to shirts, to bed sheets, to whatever else he needs to fold. So, that is the first thing, that the child learns how to fold a piece of cloth. But what else is hidden in this material? For one thing, there is the hidden knowledge of halves and quarters. It's not that we say to the child, oh, we're going to fold it into half, we're going to fold it into a quarter. Because language comes later. It is the concept that comes first. So this little child, we're talking about a 3-year-old, with his little hands, he folds these and he sees the square becoming into half a square, which is a rectangle. And then he sees that rectangle becoming into half of that rectangle or a quarter of the original square, and it's once again a square. When he folds this napkin, he sees the same square becoming into a half, but this time it's a triangular half, and when that is halved again, it becomes into another triangle, the same kind of triangle, a smaller triangle, but a triangle just the same. So there is this succession of figures that he sees, because the material doesn't stop at this. The child makes further folds. So there is this geometric succession that this child sees. Another element which comes into play much later when the child is older is based on the fact that these 2 squares are exactly the same, as I pointed out in the beginning. When I fold this square in half, what do I get? I get a rectangle. When I fold this other square in half, I get a triangle. I know that this rectangle is half of the square and this triangle is half of the square. So, I know also that since the 2 squares were the same, this rectangle and this triangle are equivalent. If I continue to fold, and I have this smaller square here and this smaller triangle, I know once again that this square and this triangle are equivalent. So much later, when the child is studying equivalences, these equivalences that are based on logical thinking, which maybe have to be explained to a child in terms of logic, Our child who has done this work in the children's house, who has worked at it with his hands, worked at it again and again, because children do these works many times over. They repeat over a process of days, over weeks, and over years. Not only that, they see the work being done in the environment by other children. So it's a repetition not only with their hands but with their minds, and it's a repetition with their mind's eye. So when the child comes to learning equivalences, this is something that is already there inside of him. This is the importance of indirect preparation, which is something that is found only with the Montessori method. So, when you talk about the Montessori method, it's not just the material in the hands of the child, but it's the material that is preparing for lots and lots of other things that the child will work on in the future. Thank you for listening to me. I'll see you again next week. Bye.